So, hello, Gustavo. Nice to meet you. I see that you are applying for the customer service representative for our company, and I just want to know a little bit about you. So, let's get started.
Yeah,
Uh, so, first, tell me what you know about our company.
yeah. So I know that Callaway Golf, they're a premium, or you guys are a premium equipment company that manufactures products for some of the top global brands in the business. I know that I've seen that you guys partner with some of the top companies when producing the products. You guys make stuff from equipment to golf balls to shoes, bags. You guys have a large variety of golf specific products. So yeah, I just know that you guys are manufacturers for these type of products that are used in higher levels.
Okay, great. And have you ever been required to work with other departments in your organization, either your current or past?
Yeah. So when I worked at school, we have a department right next to us. I worked at the financial aid office. The admissions office is right next to us. So on a daily basis, we're exchanging information or we're collaborating, helping each other out with the student's account, with the student's profile. So yes, I have worked with other departments around me.
Okay, nice. And how many employees were in your last organization, and what would they say about you?
Yeah, so we had anywhere between 8 to 10 employees on a school year, and sometimes a little bit less, sometimes a little bit more, depending on when the students or the employees were graduating. But basically, I think they would say that I'm an easy person to get along with. I'm a friendly person. I think I'd lead from my experience that I've been working there. I think that I lead by example for a lot of the new incoming employees, and they kind of see me as the big brother sort of image at the job that I'm currently working at. But yeah, I'd say that I'm an easy person to get along with, friendly. I always understand and try to help them as much as I can.
Okay, so can you tell me about a time where you were falling behind on a project or a task, and what did you do to catch up?
Yeah, so depending on the task that I was doing, I did prioritize that task depending on the level of importance or the deadline. So depending on when it was due or how high of an importance it had, I would get that task done beforehand before doing any other work. I would also communicate with my coworkers like, hey, I'm doing this project. Can you cover me on phones? Can you cover me on emails or something for 1 hour, 2 hours? It's just a way for me to not only advance on my task and advance on my project, but also communicate with my coworkers that I'm gonna be stepping aside for a little bit because of the importance of this task, of this project that I'm currently doing.
Nice. And can you share an example of your diligence or perseverance?
Yeah. So probably not too long ago, because like I said, I've been at job for over 2 years now, so they kind of see I'm basically like a lead, like a big brother there. My supervisor, which is I'm the communicator between the supervisor and my other coworkers. So my supervisors always handed me tasks, handed me projects for me to do, and in one case, one of the projects was a really high level priority project and that had to be done that day. That day, there were probably four of us in the office. Three are usually in the front, and then one's in the back. So I communicated with them like, "Hey guys, I need to step aside for 1 to 2 hours because I have this project that our supervisor gave us." And I basically told them that, if they need anything, they need any help, just let me know. I'll be in the back working on this project. But it's basically that, just communication between myself and my colleagues.
Nice. How do you organize your day or week to complete multiple tasks and meet deadlines?
So I have a planner. I have a daily planner, a monthly, and a monthly planner. So on a week-to-week basis, every Sunday night, I always look at my planner, see what I have to do for homework, for schoolwork, for my internship, for my personal life. So it's just a planner that I go by. It's literally hour by hour. So I have something going on, or I know what I have going on, and when my time is free. So yeah, I use a planner for that.
Okay. And how do you deal with multiple priorities at once?
So again, the same. I use a planner if I have my internship and my job at the same day, or if I have school and my internship on the same day, I look at the hours, see how long it's going to take me. I mean, we're virtual right now, so I don't do much traveling anymore. But what I would do is I would look at my planner, see how long it would take me to get from point A to point B, how long I would be at point B, and then just kind of schedule my day around that when I would have time to work on the required tasks that I have to do.
And can you describe a time when you were able to overcome an obstacle in a creative manner?
Yeah. So when once in my office, we had a project. It wasn't that high of an importance, but we did have a project going on, and the issue was there was only two of us in the office. So we had myself and my colleague in the front office. It's kind of hard to get work done in the front in terms of projects. So what we did is I went in the back. I went ahead and started this project, but if customer service started getting a little bit hefty, I would go back in the front and assist my colleague, and we would just switch off like that. It is kind of hard to work with just two people in a fast-paced environment like that, but we made it work. And at the end of the day, we were able to help everyone um, from the customer service perspective.
Nice. What sets you apart from other candidates for this position?
Yeah, so due to my experience, I'd like to say that I'm customer service oriented. I always like to look at people's needs and meet them if possible by the best of my ability. I also have many years of experience with Microsoft, Excel, Word, PowerPoint, probably between 7 to 10 plus years of experience with that. I'm also bilingual. I'm fluent in Spanish, so I know it's probably not as common as based on the area that the company is located in, but those one or two occasions in which a Spanish speaking family come into the office, I'll be able to go ahead and help them without any hesitation.
Nice. In your last role, how many people were on your team and where did you fall in the ranking? How come?
Um, Yeah, so my last role, I had 8 to 10 colleagues, and I was in the top two due to my experience, due to the time that I had served in my job. Sometimes we don't do employee of the months per se, but we do positions. So there's positions, there's the lead, there's the intermediate, and there's the beginner, so to say. For the past year and a half, after 6 months, I was promoted to the lead position. So it's only myself and one other colleague that are in that elite lead level tier position from all of us, from all 10 of us.
Mhm. Okay, and then last question. Um, how do you prefer to be managed?
So I'm used to kind of working on my own now. I like to check in with my supervisor, with my higher up, maybe once or twice a week. But usually, as soon as my supervisor gives me a task to do for the rest of the week, I'll get it done. She knows I'll get it done. So um, she knows I don't need to be managed on a micro level. Maybe on the macro level, like I said, once or twice a week, checking in, like, hey, how's it going? Or if I have any questions, check in with her. But I like to roam freely. I like to do, being told what to do for the week, and then I'll do it on my own pace. Obviously, getting it done by the deadlines, by the due dates.
Okay, well, thank you, Gustavo. I think that was all. That was it for my questions. And
Perfect.
yeah, we'll consider you.
Perfect. Thank you, Sophia. Have a good one.
You too. Okay, so now we're gonna switch, and I am applying for.
Receptionist, you said?
Oh yeah.
Receptionist, cool.
Okay. Let me see. Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, hey there, Sophia. Thank you for coming in today. I see that you have applied for a position as a receptionist at our company. And I just want to get to know you a little bit better, ask you a couple questions about yourself, about the company. So yeah, let's get started. All right, Sophia. So to begin with, can you tell me a little bit about our company, about what we do, what we are?
Yeah, so I know Callaway Golf sells high quality golf products worldwide. I know that at this company, it's all about being innovative and coming up with creative ways to make products better than they already are. From looking at your website, I was really impressed by what the the CEO had to say about treating people right and always telling the truth, as well as always to never give up and just to always keep trying. I find that these points were very important to me, and I feel like um, it's something that I admire about the company. And then also from looking at other websites on reviews, it seems like Callaway is like a great place to work at, and people really enjoy working there. So overall, it seems like a great company.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. Thank you. I like to hear that. Have you ever been required to work in other departments from your organization or any past employments?
I have not been required to work in other departments just because my work experience has mostly been in small organizations. So I have, however, worked alongside someone else who had a different role than I did. So I got to sort of shadow her in her role and see how she did tasks and how she handled meetings with clients. And I thought it was a great experience because I got to see it in practice and not as opposed to just her telling me what she does during the week. So I did get to learn from that in that aspect.
No, that's great. That's great. And at that last organization that you were at, how many employees were there, and what do you think they would say about you?
Um, there was probably about 9 employees, but I worked more closely with 4, so there was 5 of us. Um, I think they would say I'm very responsible and I'm very on top of things, and I handle things very professionally. But also, I'm a team player, so yeah.
That's right. Great, great. Can you tell me about a time where you were falling behind on a project or task, and what did you do to catch up?
Yeah, so one time I was falling behind on a project, and it was the very first project that I had to lead in my job. We had to get a rough draft due, and it was very stressful because there's a lot of things that needed to be done, and I was still waiting on a couple of things that need to be sent over to us. But what I did was simply just ask for help, and that's something that I don't usually like doing because I like people knowing that I know what I'm doing. But it was hard, but I asked for help from the previous project team lead, and she was very very. I was proud of myself for asking her that for asking help because she offered a lot of suggestions um, that we could do to get things done faster and additional steps that we could take to get it done to get the rough draft done on time. So
Sweet. That's great. That's great. So how do you organize your day or week to complete multiple tasks and meet deadlines?
um, mainly just on a calendar. I plan out weekly and monthly. I put things in my calendar weekly and monthly, and I also rank them in importance and um, see how important they are, and as well as how long it might take me to complete. So usually, what I would do is I complete the ones that I complete tasks that take a shorter amount of time first, so that I can focus on um, the the projects take longer for later, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, yeah, definitely, definitely. So describe a time in which you had to overcome an obstacle in a creative manner.
A time that I had to overcome an obstacle was when I needed to tell a team member that they were kind of slacking off and weren't helping out the team. It was difficult for me because I don't like confrontation. But what I ended up doing was I pulled them aside and I began asking them kind of how they were feeling and kind of just to get to the bottom of the underlying issue instead of just maybe just blaming them and getting frustrated with them.
Mhm.
But that's kind of what I did.
Oh, great, great. Um, what do you think sets you apart from other candidates for this position as a receptionist for our company?
Um, what sets me apart is that I am a team player and I have a lot of experience being on a team. It has allowed me to work with different people from different backgrounds as well as their work ethics. So they have, everyone has different types of working styles and things like that. I think it's important. I think it's an important trait as a receptionist to have because I'm able to communicate well with other people and know. Uh, I'm able to communicate well with other people as well as um, people who think differently than I do. If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. And in your last role, how many people you mentioned that there were 10 people, but you worked closely with five. Where did you rank amongst the 5 or 10 of you?
Um, I think I was at the top just because I was I was considered project team lead, and I was in charge of delegating tasks and making sure deadlines were met, as well as just always being a team player for everyone and helping out people on the team if they needed it. So
Great,
that's where I consider myself.
great, yeah. And the last question I have for you is, how do you prefer to be managed?
Yeah, so I prefer to be managed by someone who sets clear and realistic goals, as well as someone who is there when needed and doesn't just disappear out of nowhere. Um, also, I prefer to be managed by someone who isn't just demanding tasks to get done and basically someone who provides their guidance always and is always there when needed. I feel like that's important.
Great, great. So yeah, were all the questions that we had for you. We will get in contact with you shortly. But once again, Sophia, thank you for coming in for this interview.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.